In a small village where the red earth met endless green fields, life moved slowly. The mornings arrived gently, the evenings faded quietly, and dreams were often kept small. In that village lived a young man named Arjun. He was not the strongest farmer, not the richest merchant's son, not the most educated boy in school. He was simply quiet. But inside him lived something powerful, a hunger to become better. Arjun's father was a carpenter, once known for his steady hands and fine craftsmanship, but time had weakened those hands. The workshop that once echoed with strength now stood in silence. Every morning before sunrise, Arjun would wake. He would sweep the courtyard, draw water from the well, stand facing the eastern sky. He noticed something about the sunrise. It never rushed. It never demanded attention. It simply grew brighter, little by little. And that was when he made his decision. Not a loud decision, not one announced to the village, but a quiet promise to himself. Every day, he would become just a little better than yesterday. Only one step. He began by repairing old tools, polishing rusted metal until it shone again, studying the grain of wood like it was a map of possibilities. At night, while others slept, he would sit beside a flickering oil lamp, sketching new designs in a worn notebook. Chairs with stronger backs, tables with smoother curves, cupboards built not just for use, but for pride. There was no applause in those nights. No praise, no encouragement, only silence and effort. The villagers did not understand. They laughed lightly at the tea stall. "Wood is wood," they said. "Why try to make it special?" Arjun never argued. He simply worked. Then came the monsoon. Heavy rain, leaking roof, little income. Doubt began to whisper. What if they are right? What if this is a waste? But Arjun had learned something from the trees in the fields. They stood through every season, storm, heat, wind. So he stayed. He practiced joints again and again, measured twice, cut once, failed, tried again. And slowly, his hands changed. They grew steady, confident, precise. One afternoon, an elderly teacher brought him a broken chair. "Can you fix this?" he asked. Arjun looked at it carefully. "Yes," he said, "but I can also improve it." For 3 days he worked with patience. When he returned the chair, it was different. Stronger, smoother, more beautiful. The teacher ran his hand across the polished wood. "This," he said softly, "is not repair. This is respect." Word began to spread. Not loudly, but steadily. More orders came, a cot, a cupboard, a dining table. Arjun never rushed. He never lowered his standards, even if it took longer. Years passed quietly. The workshop grew alive again. 2 young boys began learning beside him, watching, listening, practicing. Then one day, a merchant from the nearby town arrived. He inspected Arjun's work carefully, opened drawers, checked joints, examined polish. "How long have you been working like this?" the merchant asked. Arjun answered calmly, "All my life." The merchant placed a large order. It was the kind of opportunity that changes everything. Fear knocked at Arjun's heart. Was he ready? Then he remembered the mornings before sunrise, the nights beside the oil lamp, the failures no one had seen. He nodded. "I will deliver." The months that followed were exhausting. Long hours, sore hands, little sleep, but he did not compromise. Excellence, he believed, must never hurry. When the furniture was finally loaded onto the merchant's cart, the entire village watched. This time, no one laughed. Weeks later, the merchant returned. "The furniture sold out in 2 days," he said. "Customers are asking for more." There was no grand celebration, only quiet respect. Something built in silence had been proven in time. Arjun did not leave the village. Instead, he expanded the workshop, created jobs, trained others. Young people who once dreamed only of escape now saw another path: mastery. One morning, years later, Arjun stood again facing the sunrise. The workshop behind him was larger now, stronger, just like him. A young boy approached and asked, "How did you become successful?" Arjun smiled gently. "I did not become successful in one day. I became slightly better each day, even when no one was watching." The sunrise rose once more over the fields, slow, steady, unstoppable. And in that quiet village, a simple truth remained. Greatness is not built in noise. It is built in discipline, in patience, in silent effort. Because what is built in silence will always be proven in time.